Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So, the Mi 11 Lite 5G, is it any good?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, so the Mi 11 Lite 5G comes in three different colours. Mint green, the one I have, which I think is the best, truffle black, and citrus yellow. Now we have a couple of options when buying online. If you go and check out the Xiaomi website, the UK website, there is a 6GB of RAM version and 128GB of internal storage. At this time of recording, I couldn't find an official price, but I'm going to guess it's going to probably be around £350, £360. There's also the 8GB version, which I have, and 128GB of internal storage. This is £399. So the only difference is RAM. There's no bump up in storage to say 256, but this does have a dual SIM or a micro SD card slot as well, so you can expand the storage if you wish. So this is one of the lightest and thinnest smartphones I've used for a long time. It's so refreshing holding this. It weighs 159 grams and is 6.8 millimeters thick or thin. It's nice and compact, and you'll also notice that there's hardly any camera bump either. So there's none of that wriggling around on the desk or wherever you're going to place it. It's just nice and compact. So design and build quality is one of my favourite features about the Mi 11 Lite 5G. It has a glass back, but this is sort of like a frosted matte effect, which makes it look really dreamy. And a bonus, no fingerprints. That's right, you find it very difficult to see fingerprints on here, say like on a glossy back, a glossy glass back, say like the POCO F3. That was terrible for that, but for this, perfect. So sandwiched between the front and rear glass is a plastic frame. It doesn't make the phone feel cheap, but it does help reduce the weight of the smartphone, which is very good. Integrated into the frame is that ultra fast fingerprint sensor integrated onto the power button. Ultra fast and ultra responsive, and as I've said before in the past, is the perfect placement for me to have a fingerprint sensor. The Mi 11 Lite 5G has the powerful Snapdragon 780G chip, which is a brand new chip from Qualcomm, and the phone certainly delivers on performance. The version I have has 8GB of RAM crammed into this phone, and in my recent gaming test, which you can see up there in the card if you want to click on that, the phone performed really well. It's only struggled on Fortnite really, with a few glitches here and there, but all the other games were set to maximum settings as well. And you'll also see after finishing PUBG and then Fortnite, the phone did get really hot. But still, the Mi 11 Lite 5G is more than capable in terms of performance. So on the front you'll find a 6.55 inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080. It's a solid display. It has a refresh rate up to 90 Hz, so it's not, you know, the big 120 or the 144 refresh rate. It has a touch sampling rate of 240 Hz as well, and the display is protected by Gorilla Glass 5. Now the display is capable of brightness up to 800 nits. I mean, it's not the most brightest of displays that I've used recently, but sunlight mode still does a good job in sunny conditions. So we're pleased to hear that the Mi 11 Lite 5G does have stereo speakers, one at the bottom and one integrated into the earpiece as well. They offer decent sound quality for a mid-range device, you know, nothing special and amazing, but the fact that it's a stereo setup is great. So does the Mi 11 Lite 5G last all day? No, it doesn't. It has a 4250 milliamp battery, and unfortunately while I was using it, it never actually lasted me a full day at all. And I found the battery life actually quite inconsistent, to be honest. I get 5 hours screen on time, and then sometimes 7, nearly 8, but it's still, it wouldn't last me until I get into bed and then pop it on charge. It would always die maybe sort of early evening time. So I think for me, there needs some improvement in the battery compartment. It does though support 33 watt fast charging, so you can plug it in for maybe 5-10 minutes and get a good bit of juice in there to last you the rest of the day. So let's talk about software. Android 11, but there's MIUI 12 over the top. While I've been using the Mi 11 Lite 5G, it's been on the Mi 11 12.0.8. So the software on the whole is pretty good. It's configurable. There's lots of settings and stuff you can change in there if you wish. Obviously there's the app drawer. There's not as much bloatware that they used to have, but still for me, the patchy area is the notifications. There's some notifications that I don't get, or there's some that are very slow. So as I said before, in other MIUI versions, there needs to be a couple of tweaks and improvements there. Okay, so let's jump on to the cameras now. The video capabilities are very similar to what you'll find on the POCO F3. They can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS. You've got 1080p 60 as well, and 1080p 30 all the way down to 720. I think overall video quality is very good for a phone at this price, a mid-range device. 4K footage is very steady and great detail. What are you doing? Are they fighting? And that goes the same for 1080p 60 and 1080p 30. And there's EIS available on all of them as well.
I'm struggling now. I've got a bit of rain on my phone. Stay still.
Hello, mate. What do you want?
Yeah?
I think they're following you, Aria.
Right, should we go this way?
Come on. Feed. Feed it. Go on, it's alright. There we go.
Oh, you're so gentle.
You want some of that, don't you?
He's lovely, isn't it? I think he is. Can I stroke him?
Don't know, I think so, can't you? I don't think he wants it.
Use all the food.
If you want to shoot ultra wide video, then that's restricted to 1080p at 30 frames per second, just like the POCO F3, but you do get stabilization with that setting as well. Ultra wide 1080p, 30 frames per second. What's in that water, Aria? Stabilization on. Don't go too close. I told her not to get close. Overall camera quality, I think is better than the POCO F3 in my opinion. The Mi 11 Lite 5G has a main 64 megapixel sensor, which you do have to manually select yourself if you want to shoot at 64, otherwise they'll come out at 12 megapixel. Photos overall were very good, with a good amount of detail, great colours, and a lot of the photos come out evenly exposed as well. This phone performs quite well in low light situations. Here are some examples here. My daughter's birthday in the evening, we set out nice balloons and everything. Obviously that was low light with some artificial lighting in there as well. Slightly soft, and then we jumped over to the snooker room. Snooker rooms are normally sort of dark and dingy, but then you do have the artificial light bouncing on the table. I think overall low light performance is pretty decent. Portrait mode, really impressed with this on the rear camera. Edge detection has worked really well whenever I've had to use the portrait mode. So we also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, which on the whole does take some great photos. Images can be a little bit softer though than the main sensor. And there's also the 5 megapixel tele macro lens as well, which I didn't really use. I probably only used it once to test, and to be honest, it does a really good job. The front camera is a 20 megapixel shooter. It can shoot to 1080p, 60 frames per second and 30 frames per second, all the way down to 720p. I'm very happy with the quality again on the photos, and portrait mode works really well. I think overall the Mi 11 Lite 5G has a strong camera setup throughout, especially for a mid-range phone at this price point. So that's my review of the Mi 11 Lite 5G. Really enjoyed using this phone, but in the back of my head I've got the POCO F3 talking at me, because the POCO F3 is even cheaper than this version as well. If you want pure performance, like pure horsepower performance, then the POCO F3 you're going to be choosing all the time at that budget, that over, you know, the £350, £360 sort of price point. You're going to be choosing the POCO F3. But what this does have, in my opinion, is a better camera than the POCO F3. So if you're looking for a mid-range device with a pretty decent camera, and you're not too bothered about performance, because this is a nice performing smartphone. The 780G chipset performs really well in gaming and general performance. It's good, and it's got a good camera, better than the POCO F3. But if you are someone who likes that real raw power, then the POCO F3 is going to win every time. It's difficult to compete with that phone. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you like unboxings, smartphone reviews, then please click that subscribe button down below. Give the video a thumbs up and comment. Any questions, then pop them down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.